Hello and welcome to my video. This video will cover the regionals at the Ultimate Showdown in Mainz. So we start off with our first opponent, Ricky, and I start with Metal into his Skarmory. He switches into his Medicham and I switch into my Azumarill. So this is pretty much already won this matchup. I just have to be careful that I don't let the Medicham win this matchup and to get too powered up. So I let the first two power punches go through and do my first Play Rough, and he shields the Play Rough, and then he goes for a third power punch, which I still won't shield. So this is kinda risky now, since my Azumarill is already this low. And he does end up shielding the second Play Rough, and he switches into his Probopass, which was probably a mistake, I don't know. But now he's trapped with my Swampert, and I pretty much can farm this Probopass down for a huge amount of energy. So now I go for my Hydro Cannon, and this feints the Probopass, and I still have enough energy for another Hydro Cannon. So his Medicham comes in and I do my Hydro Cannon immediately, and it does end up feinting the Medicham before it gets off another power punch. So now I'm at my third Hydro Cannon, and then the Skarmory tanks the Hydro Cannon now, and I'm able to get off a fourth Hydro Cannon before he gets off his Sky Attack, and with that I'm able to win the first game. So here we end up lagging, but it's already decided. So yeah, we did not rematch this game. So start off with game 2 with Azu against Skarmory, which favors my Hydro Pump Azu. So the only thing I need to take care of is that my Hydro Pump lands on this Skarmory. So I immediately go for my Hydro Pump, and he ended up shielding the Hydro Pump, which was not good. So yeah, now I'm pretty pressured, since I let the first Sky Attack go through and I only have like 30% HP. So now I'm at my Hydro Pump and I try to shield bait him, and do end up shield baiting him. So with that I should be able to feint this Skarmory down with another Hydro Pump, or rather Play Rough would be enough probably as well. So I go for my Hydro Pump to safely win this matchup. So now he waits a bit and switches in Probopass. So this is very good, since I had Swampert on my team of 3, and he sees my Swampert, switches into his Medicham, and I also immediately switch into my Altaria. So with shields down, Medicham should not be able to feint my Altaria down, especially not when he Ice Punches me first. So because of that I Sky Attack him, and he's at really low HP, and he does his last Power Punch, which will not end up feinting my Altaria. And yeah, we lag us a bit there, but it was fine. So I go for my Sky Attack to do at least some damage before I feint, and before he charges up even more energy, I immediately switch into my Swampert, and one Hydro Cannon should be able to feint this Probopass. And that's round 1 against Ricky. So in round 2 we start off with Altaria against Medicham. So this is my second opponent, Toe Technical, and yeah, this first charge move is probably Ice Punch, and it ended up being Ice Punch, but I did not want to shield the Power Punch, so the risk was too high. I rather tank non-power up punch, ice punch. So yeah, I switch into my Azumarill into his Bronzong, and I tank the first Psycho Shock. And here I tried to shield bait him with my Play Rough to fake a Hydro Pump, but he did not shield the Play Rough, which was really bad for me. So now I'm forced to shield the Psycho Shock to be able to win the switch advantage. So I fake another Hydro Pump with my Play Rough, or rather the Play Rough would be probably enough to feint this Bronzong down, but he does end up shielding, so because of that he's able to confusion me down there. So now I switch into my Metal, already knowingly that he has enough energy for Bulldoze. I do end up shielding the Bulldoze, which was really good. And here he undertapped his Psycho Shock, which was really good. That little extra damage was probably necessary, or it did matter in the end. So I immediately go for my Thunderbolt to do at least some damage against this Medicham. And I switch into my Altaria, and he immediately switches into his Azumarill to soak the Sky Attack. So this was really cleverly done by him. So he soaked the Sky Attack. This way he does not has to invest his last remaining shield. So yeah, with that clear advantage, he does end up taking game 1. Yeah, and also here I just was too greedy on the energy farm. Probably, yeah. I won't be able to get off 3 Rock Slides. Even 2 was, yeah, no way to. So game 2, I start off with Tropius against Altaria, which was really bad, so I have to immediately switch out my Air Slash Tropius, and I switch in my Bronzong, which was a pretty safe switch against his team, pretty much. So he switches into his Azumarill, so we already saw that on my side. So now I go for my first Psycho Shock, which he end up taking. And I go for my second Psycho Shock, since he farmed a whole bunch of energy on his side. Oh no, we seen P-Tide there, yo. Yeah, he was maybe a little bit too aggressive on the energy farm there. And he was just too slow on the Play Rough. So now does a charge move here, and I end up not tanking the Ice Beam. I already expected him to Ice Beam, but I also did know that he had Altaria in his team, so I didn't want my Tropius to be too healthy. Otherwise he could have farmed my Tropius down with his Altaria. So now this time I immediately go for my Hydro Pump without doing any shield baits. And he ended up taking the Hydro Pump. This was really good for me. So now there's a chance that I could win. So because of this, I shield the first Psycho Shock from him. And he goes for a second Psycho Shock, which I will take. And with I bubbled the Bronzong down now to be able to Play Rough this Altaria, which he does end up shielding. So now I go for my second Play Rough, which he has to take now. And I immediately I lagged a bit there, and I tried to soak the no, I did not soak. Okay, I tried to Air Slash him down and to force him to Sky Attack my Tropius. So yeah, this is really close, and in the end I'm able to win with my Azumarill. With the remaining bubbles, I'm able to take down the Altaria. So even with the lags, I was able to win against his Altaria. That was really insane. at that point of time. So I'm in a bad lead again, metal against Medicham. That's why I switched into my Bronzong to have a kind of safe switch in. Now I do not shield the second power punch, which was really unnecessary. I should have shielded the power punch to be able to get off a Psycho Shock there. So now he has a really power-upped Medicham, so I have to be really careful now. And because I switched in my Azumarill, he probably will be able to make use of his Medicham. So now I do not shield the Psycho Shock. I do not know whether it was a good decision or not. So I do end up landing the first Hydro Pump, but yeah, now switching my Bronzong since I wanted to preserve my Azumarill for the Medicham and to farm the Bronzong for energy, so I can force a shield out of him here. Yeah, and he ended up shielding, which I probably should have expected, so probably should have rock slided him there. So now I'm able to get off another Thunderbolt, and this will faint the Medicham, and he has still just one more left, and it's a Azumarill. So I'm pretty happy to see the Azumarill here. So I go for my Thunderbolt. This should do at least 40% or 50, nearly 50%. And I go for my Azumarill to force him to play Wrath me. And he does end up Ice Beaming me, thinking that this will be enough to faint my Azumarill, which wasn't the case. So I'm able to get off my Play Wrath now because of that. And probably he undercharged the Ice Beam there to be able to fire off this last Play Wrath to win this match. So yeah, very well played by him. Those were really close games. Yeah, we start off the third round against Eliza with Melmetal against Probopass. This usually favors the Probopass, and she does her first charge move, which I did not shield. I thought she might shield bait me with a Rock Slide, so yeah. And as you can see, the Thunderbolt of her Probopass does way lot more than my Melmetal. And here I did not expect the the Medicham switch. That's why it took so long for the switch into my Azumarill. And yeah, I go for my switch and tank the first two power punches. And here I go for my Play Wrath, which I expected to be shielded from her Medicham, but she ended up not shielding the Play Wrath, which was really surprising. And now she switches into her Probopass, which didn't make too much sense to me, or she does not have a better answer to my Azumarill. That's why I switched out my Azumarill there, but then she switches into her own Azumarill, and she ended up shielding my Hydro Cannon, since I wanted to shield bait her with the to fake an Earthquake. So I end up going for my Earthquake for my second charge move, and she invests her second shield there. And now I let the Play Wrath go through. I switch into my Melmetal and tapping on the Thunderbolt like crazy, and I end up doing my Thunderbolt now. She gets off one bubble in between off, and I immediately go for my Rock Slide before I faint there. So I thought it might be really close, so I switch into my Azu, and with the last remaining shield I faint the Azumarill, and I saw her switching, so immediately go for my Hydro Pump there. Since I knew the Probopass was in the back and was pretty low, Play Wrath would have been probably fine as well, or able to feint the Probopass as well. So Yeah, I just knew that the Probo Pass was in the back and was close at the charge moon there. So here we start off the game 2 with Mere Metal against Azumarill, which favors the Mere Metal now. So, or it depends rather which Azumarill variant she had there. So she did let the first Rock Slide go through. I tried to shield bait her with the Thunderbolt. So then she switches out into her Medicham. So that's why I switched into my own Azumarill. And I'll take the power-up punches from the Medicham. At least the first 2-1. And then I'm able to get off my Play Wrath, which she end up shielding, which is kinda expected since she already invested or is 2 power-up punches deep with her Medicham. And she goes for a third power-up punch, which I end up letting go through as well. And she shields the second Play Wrath. Now it's pretty close. And she switches into her Azumarill. So I switch into my Mere Metal, thinking that I could get off this Thunderbolt, but I wasn't quick enough. So I switched into the charge move, which I did not shield, and it tanked fairly well. And here she under-tapped, I think. So I have to shield the Play Wrath now to be able to get off my Thunderbolt. And this should feint her Azumarill. And my Mere Metal is perfectly low, so I can immediately switch into my Mon, into probably my Azumarill, which is at her Hydro Pump. And I'm able to get off my Hydro Pump on this Probo Pass, which was really good. I immediately switch into my Altaria to feint this Probo Pass down just with the Dragon Breath. And with the remaining shield still left, I shield the Ice Punch here. Yeah, I do end up shielding. Good. So because of this, I'm able to feint this Medicham. So it was really crucial to not shield the Rock Slide from the Probo Pass, since I already knew that she had a really power-up Medicham in the back that could one-shot my Altaria with just one Ice Punch, since Altaria is so bulky and can take one Rock Slide from a Probo Pass.